Hi, I'm Miss Rosie. I'm going to be doing a third grade advanced organizer lesson on quadrilaterals. The goals for this lesson are for students to be able to explain what a quadrilateral is and for them to be able to identify which shapes are quadrilaterals and explain why those shapes are quadrilaterals. The prior knowledge students will need is they'll need to know what a polygon is. They'll also need to know the attributes of a square, the attributes of a rectangle, and the attributes of a rhombus. Okay. Hi class, today we're going to be doing a lesson about shapes. We're going to be learning about a category of shapes called quadrilaterals. And some of the shapes we already know about fit into this category. The shapes that we know about that fit into this category are squares, rectangles, and rhombuses. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the attributes of those shapes that we know about and figure out which attribute they have in common and to figure out what makes them fit into the category of quadrilaterals. So the first thing we need to do is we need to draw a Venn diagram. If you remember what a Venn diagram is, it looks like this. We need 3 circles since we're going to be talking about 3 different shapes. And make sure that they connect in the middle. So if you can draw one of these in your notebook. I'll put that one up there. And the next thing I want you to do is I want you to draw a rectangle in one of the circles in your Venn diagram. And I want you to draw a square in the second circle. And I want you to draw a rhombus in the last circle. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a minute to just think about the attributes of each one of these shapes. Think about what you know about a rectangle, what you know about a square, and what you know about a rhombus, and just write it in your Venn diagram, and then we'll come back together and we'll talk about it. Okay, so now that you've had a minute to think about it, what are the attributes of a rectangle? What do we know about rectangles? Right, they have 4 sides. What else? 4 right angles, right? What else? Right, opposite sides are equal to each other, so like the top is equal to the bottom. Right, opposite sides are equal. All right, so what do we know about squares? What are the attributes of squares? Right, 4 sides. What else? All 4 sides are equal. Good. What else? Right, 4 right angles. Okay, so what are the attributes of a rhombus? Right, a rhombus also has 4 sides. What else? Right, the 4 sides are equal. What else? Right, the opposite angles are equal. Opposite angles are equal. All right, so let's think about the attributes we came up with. What is one attribute that each of these shapes share? Right, each of these shapes has 4 sides. So let's write that in our middle of our Venn diagram. So each of these shapes has 4 sides. So what does that mean for our category of quadrilaterals? That these shapes that fit into that category all have 4 sides. Right, quadrilateral, the category of quadrilateral has shapes that are 4-sided. The definition of quadrilaterals are 4-sided polygons. So let's write that up here, 4-sided polygons. And do you remember what a polygon is? We learned about that not too long ago. Right, a polygon is a closed shape made up of straight lines. So quadrilaterals are closed shapes made up of straight lines that have 4 sides. So if we look at the examples that we have, our shapes, each of these shapes is closed. It has straight lines, and it is made up of 4 sides. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some shapes, and I want you to tell me if you think it is a quadrilateral. The first thing I want you to do is think about, is it closed? Does it have straight lines? And then think about, does it have 4 sides? Or does it have less sides? Does it have more? Okay, so the first shape we're going to look at is this one. So we can see that it is closed. It does have straight lines, so it is a polygon, but is it a quadrilateral? No, because it only has 3 sides. Good job. It is not a quadrilateral. Okay, what about this shape? First of all, it's closed. It has straight lines. Is it a quadrilateral? Yes, it does have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. It's a quadrilateral. More specifically, it's a square. Okay, what about this one? right? It's closed, it has straight lines, but again, this one only has 3 sides, so it is not a quadrilateral. What about this one? It's closed, it has straight lines, but it has way more than 4 sides, so it is not a quadrilateral. And lastly, this is our last one. What about this one? Let's think about this. It is closed, it does have straight lines. Let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, this is a quadrilateral. The shape is called a trapezoid because it's a closed shape that has straight lines, so it's a polygon, and it also has 4 sides, which makes it a quadrilateral. Okay, great job, everybody. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you out a worksheet. It's got some shapes on it, and what it's going to ask you to do is determine whether or not that shape is a quadrilateral, and it's going to ask you to explain why. So great job, everybody.